Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 76 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Pretty good. We survived episode 75. Yay.
Yes.
We had a blast. If you missed it, we live streamed our 75th episode last Saturday. Not Friday. Saturday.
Oh, well, yeah, Saturday.
Went through our top 75 favorite games of all time. Had a blast doing it. It did not go as long as episode 50, but we tried.
We were only about an hour short.
We gave it the old college try, trying to get it to. We didn't really try to, but we had a lot of fun. Got to talk to a lot of people in the chat.
I was pleased with the turnout.
Yeah, higher than episode 50, which is what we would hope.
Yep.
And the plan, episode 100, we'll live stream that.
I'm not gonna lie, 75 went a lot smoother than I thought it would.
We were so stressed out
From
before.
two people that really have, I won't say no, but little technical
AV.
savvy, AV
It's not
experience,
even AV.
whatever.
It's like so specialized, trying to figure out.
We had streaming issues going in. I guess because we both use Macs.
Yes.
It'd probably be a lot easier if we had PCs, but we're Mac guys.
I'm not going to go buy a $1,000 PC or something.
But it went off without a hitch. We had lots of issues before, but
Yep.
once we started rolling, it actually went off
The
fine.
funny thing is, I kept trying to tell you to calm down because I was like, no wonder.
No wonder you're extinct.
If it screws up, we just default to the FaceTime HD camera. We've got the sync. We've got rid of the sync this time. It'll be fine. But then once I got there, I was like, no, this has to work. This looks so good. And I was stressed out.
agree.
I was like, now
Yeah.
I understand why he was stressing out so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. If you didn't see it yet, go back, check out episode 75. We go through our top 75 games of all time. Not in any order. Well, I mean, it's in an order. It's in alphabetical order. But we just don't have the free time to rank 1 through 75. Maybe we'll. No, I'm not even going to say that. For episode 100, I'm not even going to say that.
Yeah.
What else? We saw Wonder Woman opening night. Spoiler alert, we both absolutely loved it. Has it changed for you? Oh, by the way, go back and check out our review from Friday if you haven't seen it yet. Has anything changed for you? Because I know even like the next day on Batman vs. Superman, it had gone down like a half a point. 2 days later, had gone down a full point. The more I thought about it.
So my only thing, I still love the movie as much as I thought I did. But last night, you're not kidding around over there.
I'm not. I got to catch up to you.
Last night, we watched Logan. And by we, I mean Brittany and I, because
Blu-ray
Brittany hadn't
or
seen
streaming?
it before. We just rented
Okay.
it on DirecTV or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Or
did
Apple
you do
TV.
the black
I don't
and
remember
white?
what we did. No, it was only the color one. I love Wonder Woman. But it's definitely 3.
It is definitely
Logan.
not Logan.
I forgot.
You forgot how special and how good that was.
God. Logan is...
It was the Dark Knight of non-Batman movies.
Yeah, it was not like other... I don't even want to call it a superhero movie because I feel like that is selling it short somehow. I don't know. It's just a good movie. It has nothing to do... Yeah, there's a superhero in it. A few, I guess, really. But God, that movie is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I stand by Wonder Woman is a solid number 3 on my list.
It's
Dark Knight,
yeah.
Logan, Wonder Woman.
It
And
has
that may change over time.
Oh, of course. But as it stands now, it hasn't
as of right now, yeah.
It hasn't
3.
dropped for me at all. I feel like it's kind of like Firewatch. Stick with me. Just the further away I get from it, the more I think about it, the more I like it.
Right.
Like I saw Ernie wasn't as big a fan. He said it was good, but he said the third act was a mess. No offense, Ernie. I didn't see that at all. I thought the third act was awesome.
Yeah, I loved all 3 acts. So here's one thing that I wanted to bring up during our review, and I didn't. I say it somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but not knowing enough about Wonder Woman, I'm somewhat serious about it. Will we, in any Wonder Woman movie, Justice League movie, whatever movie, are we ever going to see the invisible plane?
I hoped.
I don't know how you pull that off and make it cool. I don't know how that doesn't come off as super cheesy.
I mean, spoiler, the invisible jet's not there. What I hoped they would have done is said something like when she made a big jump, like that time when she jumped
I
during
think
that
they
fight.
make reference to it at some point.
That's what I
But
thought.
I
They
don't
would have
think we
been
ever
like.
see, well, we wouldn't see it.
I
'cause
thought
it's invisible,
I wanted
but-
somebody to just be like, "How do you jump that high?" or something like that. And she'd be like, "What do you think? I got an invisible jet or something?" Just that would have brought the house down.
Right. Yeah. But no,
Shout out to you because I wanted to bring it up too because I was wondering if the ultimate jet, if the invisible jet was going to make an appearance in it.
well, because I watched for like the 17th time, I happened to come across Lego Movie this morning, and Wonder Woman is
Oh yes,
briefly
they
in
handled it so well in
and
that.
the
It was
one,
awesome.
we can get in the, we can get in the bat plane. That's all right. We have my invisible jet.
There's nothing there. It just explodes.
Oh God,
So good. I loved it.
That's such a good movie. But yeah, Wonder Woman, solid number 3 on my rankings of superhero movies. Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I
It's
don't want
not
to get
even
into
worth
all
trying to get into that. But I mean, it's. I mean, Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. Period. It is my number 1 movie of all time. It's.
See, I don't even know
number
if I
one.
could. Yeah, I don't know.
Inception somewhere up. I'm just thinking of the Nolan movies. Inception's up there. I think The Prestige is so underrated. There's no
So
point.
my number 1 criteria that I would use to do all-time movie rankings is if I come across it on TV randomly, am I going to stick around and watch it? Dark Knight is one
I
of
don't
those
care
movies.
where it is. Yes.
Lego Movie is one of those movies. And you know what else is one of those movies that just happened to come on right after Lego Movie this morning?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Back to the Future.
Oh yes.
Even
the boys still haven't watched it. I feel like I'm failing.
there's some.
Is it
I mean-
not? Are they too young still? I don't think so. It was PG,
There's some
right?
S bombs.
Really?
There's a lot of Marty
Wasn't it
saying,
PG?
holy, and then on TBS it's holy
Crap.
jeez.
Oh.
But I mean, I think Noah. Yeah, it's not like they've never heard a bad word.
Yeah,
But-
their mom swears a lot. I'm
Yeah.
kidding, Jess. I mean, you're not watching, but if you, well, actually, you do watch. So sorry, honey.
Noah could absolutely watch it. Nix, maybe. I don't know. I feel like it would almost be too much for them. Just the whole.
Getting their
I don't
head
know
around
that they
it.
would. Yeah.
See, the other thing, what I was going to say though, when the movies come on TV, I just like to touch this table. If you forgot, we built our own table. It's just awesome. I'd like to do this. It just feels good. We did a really good job on this.
I noticed during Wonder Woman.
I was just
You were
doing
like,
this a
so
lot.
I was thinking about.
I just love this. It's like
it
if I
does
could,
feel real soft.
if I could drape myself in velvet, I would, or whatever the quote is. It seems like whenever I see Dark Knight on TV, it's always at the 18-wheeler chase. It's always at some part of that,
Yeah.
either when he's about to pull out the bazooka, or when when Batman's about to flip it, or when he's
slaughter
like, "Hit me,
is the best
hit
medicine
me."
or
Yeah,
whatever.
instead of
Yeah.
laughter. It's just God. That movie's perfect.
Yeah.
Movie's perfect. Oh, this was not our top 75 movies of all time, but you would have thought it was. So anyways, check out the Wonder Woman video. Go back and check out episode 75. We had so much fun doing it. If you're a Kind of Funny fan, they announced a lot of stuff at Kind of Funny Live 3 this weekend. I almost hit this weekend. We'll see how it goes.
I saw. I was curious if this was ever going to come up. It probably did a lot more than I'm even aware of. I saw somebody tweeted, literally just some random Joe Schmo. I doubt he's watching, but shout out to you if you are, or
Shout
whatever
out
your
to
name
Joe
is.
Schmo. No offense.
Tweeted something like, "With Kind of Funny Live 3, about to happen. Does anybody know No Taxation's whereabouts?" And then he added Aaron on there as well, and she's like, "Yep, he's working."
Right next to me. Yeah.
So, yeah. I thought it would have been cool for him to show up.
was
There's
no
no way.
Especially after.
But that
did you
would've-
ever go back and listen to that Tom Woods interview?
No,
they
I haven't.
they definitely had a big falling out.
Really?
Yeah.
It is weird now just seeing. I'm trying to think of who. It may have even been Bernardo. Somebody tweeted something recently and did like a GIF of
GIF.
when
GIF.
I think Kind of Funny Kevin. So it was Colin and Greg, and I think it was when Kevin
The
dropped
freak out.
the C bomb. I think
I don't think it was C-bomb. It was
it
something
was
like
a bad bomb.
I thought it was.
And
I
they
thought
were
it was
just-
just him going.
And like just seeing, I mean,
It
I
made
got a
me so
little
sad.
Yeah, like
I think
I
it
love
was something
Colin, I
like-
love Greg, but like, God, I do miss
Them
and it just
together.
seems so long ago now. Like,
I know a lot. It's only
it's
been
weird
3
to think
months.
of Colin.
This all happened in the last 3 months.
Yeah, it's sad. It sucks, but
I think that GIF was something about Kevin said
GIF.
the GIF. Somehow Kevin like finally, it was like the first time he talked back and was like, well, why don't you kiss my ass or something like that? And they're, that whole freak out though went on for like another 4 or 5 seconds. That wasn't in that. Oh my God. It was one of my favorite Kind of Funny moments of all time.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have some more on Kind of Funny Live 3 this week. We'll see how that goes. Tease, hashtag tease. So we'll see how that goes. What else? Anything else you got before we get in the rigmarole? We're doing our E3 predictions this episode. I cannot wait. Well, just getting into that there.
Yeah, okay. Well, then what are you drinking over there?
We are drinking for the first time on camera Bell's Two-Hearted Ale.
It's got a big fish on it.
Fantastic.
This is why I feel
IPA.
like this is like a southern. Oh, it's from Michigan. It's
Comstock.
an American IPA.
They fish in Comstock. I mean, Michigan.
I know all about Comstock. They definitely fish there.
All I know is this is a great beer. I had
very
never seen it bottled. We were at Costco this weekend because that's the exciting life that I live. And I said, holy crap, they got
I've only had
Bells.
it on draft before.
I've never seen it in a store. I've never seen it at Kroger, even the make your own 6-pack or anything. I've never seen it anywhere. So when I saw it, I was like, yep, $36, whatever. That's basically $9 a 6-pack. That's what it is for any good beer. So do you remember like it as much as you remember it?
Oh yeah, it's delicious. Okay. I love it. So Brittany and I, before we went out to dinner last night, we just had a long, busy day. So we're like, let's go get a beer before dinner. So we went to On Tap.
Nice.
Shout out to On Tap Growlers. They now serve beer by the pint there. Probably
so
nobody
Nick
other
and Adam,
than maybe Mark. Probably nobody
Mark,
watching this actually lives in Collierville. But check out On Tap Growlers. I had planned on going back after dinner to actually fill up a growler, and then after dinner I was just too full, and a growler just didn't sound good anymore. Yeah. But
excuse you.
They had I tried. I mean, I'd had it before, but I tried. Oh God, what's the brewery?
Local or
no microbrew, but not local. They have an IPA that's good. And I can't remember what it's called. But
Yazoo?
No, but their non-IPA was Moohoo, like Yoo-hoo, but Moohoo.
Oh.
It was a chocolate milk stout.
Oh.
Not good?
I don't know.
God, it was
I just
delicious.
don't like stout. I don't like coffee stouts. I never liked that chocolate Bach, but it's just Sam Adams, so maybe that's why.
Chocolate Bach isn't very good. This was actually, I mean, when you smelled it, it smelled like
Yoo-hoo.
chocolate milk. I'm going to look it up now because it's a brewery you would know of. But
Moohoo.
So I got a pint of the Moohoo, and it was just fantastic. And they have an IPA that you've had, I've had, we've all had.
I forgot to turn off the capture thing. I just saw it pop up and say capture.
Fine.
Dang.
Terrapin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Terrapin's good.
Hopsecutioner was the IPA. But yeah, Terrapin.
Is that the one in like the orange can or something? You brought him over here one time.
It might have been. I don't remember.
I don't know.
But oh God, it's so good. Very, very good.
It's very good. Very, very nice. So
I had a few margaritas before he came over. So Brittany just bought like a big thing of
Mixer
like what is
pre-made,
it? 1800. Like
I saw
pre-made
that when we did
margarita.
75, yeah.
So we just had a few because we made some kind of like taco casserole thing for dinner. So we just started making margaritas, and we had a little bit of that tequila left over. So we were putting little tequila floaters in there, and that was really good.
Wait, so does I assume it has the tequila already in it?
It's alcohol. I mean, it's 10% alcohol.
It's
barely, yeah. So it kind of needed a floater.
Yeah.
But
floater. When you say, I think it's something else. Looking out at the pool.
#poop.
#poop in the pool.
Yeah, that's it. We can go ahead and get into the old rigmarole.
How are you doing in Horizon? But before we get to that, I meant to actually ask, how was Blaster Master Zero? You went and bought it.
So here's the thing. I haven't actually played Horizon, I don't think, since 75. But I've played a lot of Blaster Master Zero.
Okay.
I'm loving this game. I'm almost done with it. I actually got to the final boss today and couldn't beat it. Up until the final boss, I would say I wouldn't say the game is too easy. So I don't remember. I don't know how much you remember about the game, and I don't know how much this game is different from the original.
I don't remember much other than just like screenshots.
When you're in like overhead mode as just your guy, you can pick up power. It's almost like Gradius maybe, where everything it like powers up your weapon, and every time you get hit, you go down one kind of thing. But eventually you get a power up where you can take a hit, and as long as you don't get hit again for like 3 seconds, you don't lose. Yeah. So once you've got the most powerful weapon, it shoots through walls. It's got like a wide range. Like the game is borderline too easy. It's not easy, but at least those portions of the game are too easy. The boss fights are usually pretty simple, but it's a lot of fun. And like I said, I couldn't beat the final boss. I basically got to the final boss before I was 100% sure that I was at the end of the game. And I'm like, whatever, I'll try to beat it. And I couldn't, which kind of made me glad because I'm like, I know there's a bunch of stuff I haven't explored yet. So I played for a few hours today and went back and explored everything. So I've got the only power-ups you get, it's not like Metroid where you can get like missile boosts and super missile boosts and power bomb boosts and all that stuff, but you do get like health increases. So I found all those. I found all the like optional items and stuff. So again, no trophies on the Switch, but I would think that once I beat this boss,
you'll be 100%.
I would have 100% of the game. And they don't track it to my knowledge. But so I have all the health boosts, which I didn't have before. So I was working my way back to the final boss to go finish it off, and then Brittany wanted to watch House of Cards, so we watched the first episode of that.
Oh, that reminds me.
So by next week, I will have finished it, but I love it. For $10, I think it's totally worth it. Part of me wants to go back and play the original just because I don't remember. This is definitely a remake, more or less, of the original.
Okay.
But
Souped up.
Trying to think of how different the original was. I just have no idea, but this game it's a lot of fun. For $10, it's totally worth it. I don't know if it's on anything but Switch.
It's not. It's a Switch exclusive. It's a Switch exclusive.
Totally worth it. If you're one of the 3 million, however many people that have a Switch out there, for $10, if you remember Blaster Master from way back in the day, if you're old like this guy is, you probably remember.
But you're the
game.
one that played it.
Great game. Totally worth $10. It's a good game to keep you busy for. I mean, I probably put upwards of 10 hours into it, 8 to 10 hours maybe. It's worth it for $1 an hour kind of thing. Totally worth it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. This guy is apparently pretty good at Street Fighter. Why don't you tell us about that?
So I've been playing Ultra Street Fighter 2, but before I forget to say, so I did win 9 ranked online matches in a row. Can you give me the thing? I won 9 ranked online matches in a row on Ultra Street Fighter 2. And it's one of those things where it's like, eventually I'm like, I know what's going to happen is I'm going to get overconfident, or I'm going to start thinking during the matches instead of just reacting and playing. But instead what I did is I sent him a screenshot. I was like, hey, I won 9 in a row. Lost the next 2 matches.
Of
like,
course. The next 2.
But I've won like 17 out of 20, I think is what it is, ranked matches. I'm like, this is cool. But then like you build up points for every time you win and stuff. But then I'll go up against, I'm like at 750 battle points or whatever it is. Then all of a sudden I'm like, I go up against somebody with like 1,800, and immediately I'm like, well, I'm going to lose. No, I beat him, But then I go up against somebody with 4,500, and he was Sagat, and he had a sliver left, and he got me. I blocked a fireball. I thought I had enough to absorb it, and I didn't, and I lost. But so much fun. But what I was going to say before I forget, I won 4 or 5 matches in a row ranked online in portable mode. Handheld mode, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And it made me thinking, I thought of the perfect accessory that Nintendo or a third party needs to sell, because I would buy it for $30, $40, whatever it would be. A left Joy-Con that is really only meant to be played in handheld mode. I get why the D-pad is 4 separate buttons.
I gotcha.
But I just want a real D-pad. So basically I'm saying, yes, Nintendo, I would pay you $30 to give me a real D-pad. Because everybody already has 2 Joy-Con because the Switch came with 2 Joy-Con, you know what I mean?
Right.
But if you want one that's just for if you're going on a trip or something, and you don't care about playing it with the Joy-Con like this, you just want to play handheld mode, I just want a real D-pad. I would buy that.
Yeah. I just thought of something else I wanted to talk about, but go ahead.
Okay. The other thing I found out, I almost like using an analog on the Pro Controller better than the D-pad. I love the Pro Controller, but something about that D-pad, like it just doesn't roll as much. It doesn't. It doesn't roll like the PS4 does.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So but then that analog, I never play fighting games with an analog stick.
I'm trying to think of what I used.
The analog
when
on
I
the Pro
played.
Controller is really good.
See, analog with fighting games, analogs have it's kind of a sore spot with me because I think of arcade games with the joystick and having to and it just never. And so I feel like I tend to stay away from the analogs, but I don't. Maybe I used the analog when we were playing. I know I went back and forth. I'm just trying to think of which one I liked better.
The game is so much fun. I checked. I put 6.5 hours into it already. Oh, and the other thing I played it, like I was telling Sean, I played it on. They do have 8 difficulty levels, so it is just like on the Genesis and Super Nintendo. So I played through it on level 7 out of 8. I think it's Grandmaster or something with Ryu, and I went the whole way without getting beat once. It's like I was telling Sean, it's like I feel like it makes me feel like I'm good, and then I go online and I'm pretty decent, which definitely makes me think I haven't really lost it. Way better than I was at Street Fighter V playing it online, that's for sure. But it's like I was telling Sean, if you've played Street Fighter 25 years ago, the patterns are still all the same. They just might react a little bit quicker, or they might throw, if it's Bison, he's doing Psycho Crushers all like back and forth. Obviously, he's not charging because the computer doesn't need to charge their moves and stuff, but you know how to fight these characters because it's like if you went in there right, if we after we record, if we don't watch pay-per-view or whatever, if you go in there and you do it, I bet you could do just about the same thing.
Really?
Because you just get used. I mean, I've been playing. You only played it when we did the Let's Play, but you get all of a sudden you'll be like, I remember how all these they fight the same ways they did on the Genesis. I love that. I love it.
I'd like to think I could do just as well, but maybe not.
A couple other things I've been playing. I got into the Nex Machina Beta. That was fun. The weird thing is, so Nex Machina, if you're not familiar with, it's Housemarque's next game. Housemarque, the fantastic studio that brought us Resogun, one of my top 75 games of all time. This really is, though. This is apparently in the Resogun universe. It's top down. Think of like Smash TV style of up, top
down, screwing out, money ain't a thing.
Yeah, with a window crack, hollow back, money ain't a thing. I love the table. But Alexa Bliss one, good. You have to save humans.
Okay.
You get multipliers. The voice saying all this stuff is the same as in Resogun. Multiplier up. Human saved. Shield. Like it's the same. It's so weird. I think it's harder than Resogun.
It's weird. I'm going to interject for 5 seconds because otherwise I'm going to forget. Speaking of familiar sounds and whatever, when I was playing Blaster Master Zero today, after I was about, 7 to 8 hours in, at least, probably, all of a sudden it clicked, and some of the sound effects I was hearing, and then I finally realized it's the same developer, Hudson, Sunsoft, whatever you want to call it. Are they the same? Or do I just get them confused? Are they actually the same?
I mean, neither of them exist anymore. But
well, regardless, whoever it is probably a carryover from the original Blaster Master.
Right.
It is the same sound effects from Fester's Quest.
Oh my gosh, really?
I don't remember. I don't know why that stuck with me, but all of a sudden I was hearing this, like, I think it's the sound of when you pick up like a power up or something. It's like a typical video game noise, and I'm like, straight from Fester's Quest, which is a fantastic game.
It is a good game.
Go ahead.
But Nex Machina, so basically you go up, like you start, and I played on normal difficulty. I didn't want to play it on easy, and I recorded some gameplay, but there's no point in there's no point in putting it up, but I've got it. You go through, like, your goal on each, like, sub-stage, like stage 1-1, you have to defeat all the enemies there, which is super easy. Then you go up to stage 2, and then there'll be, like, some humans you want to save for extra points, but there's also, the whole thing is kill the enemies on that stage, go up to the next level. Over and over and over and over again. But they just get, like, the areas that you're in are so confined, and they're just, the screen fills up with enemies. And it's not, like, and you've almost got, like in Resogun, you had the overdrive was the big laser, but then you had, like, the boost, where you could get out of danger. You can do that in this, but you just go, dink. It's just kind of like like a quick dash or something. I don't know what I would call it. You just It's just more difficult. It was fun. I'm probably not going to pick it up, but I'm glad I got to play it. It was just so weird hearing all the Rezo gun sound effects and voices and stuff. I was like, this is so weird.
Right. Yeah.
Then the other thing I've been playing some more, Axiom Verge. I love this game. I beat the third boss now, which is the one where it just zooms way out.
That's the one I was thinking of. Where I'm like,
playing that on the Vita would be
that
impossible.
alone was like, yeah, playing on the Vita, you're going to be dealing with some pretty small sprites. But.
Tell me if I'm crazy. Okay, I thought you were gonna. I didn't know. That boss reminded me of a Contra boss. Fighting against this, I was like, this doesn't feel like Metroid. This feels like Contra, and that is
trying
awesome
to picture.
too.
I remember the.
So he's got
arena,
like
whatever. But
he's got there's the two little gun things he's got that are shooting things at an arc and then they explode. There's those two down there, but depending in the order you shoot stuff off him, his attacks change in different orders. So what I did first was I got up and he's got the big like tail thing that's here and it comes up and it goes bzzz, and he like angles a laser all over. You shoot that first, then you go after his head, then you go down, you shoot those things. Then he's got a big Hadouken that's coming down an ankle.
Hadouken?
Yeah, Hadouken. Shout out to Dad. You jump all the way up and then you kill. Then you kill his little face. It looks like a butthole kind of like. So much fun. So I got that. I finally got the lab coat. I've got the high jump. But now I'm to the point where I go above ground. I feel like I'm kind of stuck, but I know you're never really stuck in this game.
Right.
I powered up my Axiom disruptor. I think what it is I was falling asleep last night. The second thing that you meet, the second big face thing, somebody told me to get a drone, which the whole time I've been thinking a drone was going to be doing this. Drone is that little alien thing that you get, and you got to use that. I took the drone to some area that only it could get to, and I died pretty far through it, and I was like, I'll come back to this, thinking it was just going to be a power-up. I'm like, oh, it's probably a power-up. It's probably something that I need to get to the next boss to progress the game.
It may be, yeah.
So I love it. It's a lot of fun. I wish I had played it before now, almost 2 years after it came out, I think. But it's so good. I don't know how far I am. Like, I've been through 3 bosses. I think there's like 7 or 8, so I don't feel like I'm even halfway yet. I've probably only played about 2.5 hours or so.
I don't remember there being that many bosses, but maybe. I would have thought like 4 or 5, 6
really?
maybe. I mean, I could just be flat out wrong.
Yeah.
But,
it was cool the first time you die in it, and he's like, "Oh my god, did I just die?" And they're like, "Yeah, I mean, but we like took your mind particles or whatever it said, the red stuff,
right,
and put you back together." And he's like, "So am I still me?" I'm like, "This is a trip. This game is so cool. I love
Very
it so
meta.
Love it so much." All right, you want to get the news of the week, Sean?
Let's do it.
There's like, what is F? A, B, C, D, E, F. There's 6 items here, but really there's only 2 that we're going to spend a lot of time on. The first one we've been waiting for a long time. Nintendo finally said what their online stuff is actually going to be. They got rid of the free games per month. But let's go through this. So anyways, originally they had said there's going to be some price to play online. You'll get a game that you can play for free for a month and then it goes away.
Right.
And that changes every month. We're all like, well, that's kind of dumb. It's like not cool. You know what I wish? I wish Nintendo would just be like Netflix. Wouldn't that be cool, Sean?
It sure would, Kevin.
They're Netflix! Kind of. So, still very confusing. But so basically, the free games per month thing is gone. They are now a Netflix-style subscription service. $3.99 for 1 month, $7.99 for 3 months, or $19.99 for 12 months. Awesome. What else is here? Yeah. So let me read this update that they sent to Kotaku to clarify some things and then some Q&As they did with IGN. So this is from Kotaku. Nintendo confirmed that this monthly plan has indeed changed, telling Kotaku, quote, Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have ongoing access to a library of classic games with added online play. Added online play. Mm-hmm. So we could play Super Mario 3 from Cairville to Cairville. Users can play as many of the games they want, as often as they like, as long as they have an active subscription. Nintendo adds, Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will be able to play a wide variety of classic games, including Super Mario Bros. 3, Balloon Fight, and Dr. Mario. What system were those 3 games on, other than the NES?
I don't know.
The NES
the
Classic.
NES Classic.
More games will be announced at a later date. At launch, the classic game library will include NES games. Super NES games continue to be under consideration, but we have nothing further to announce at this time. I got some thoughts on that. It remains to be seen whether this classic service will replace Nintendo's traditional virtual console, which allowed fans to buy old blah, 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 blah. When they asked them about the virtual console, Nintendo said, quote, "We have nothing to announce on this topic." IGN also had some questions to Nintendo. They asked, will Nintendo announce new details about its new online service at E3 2017? Their answer, we will announce further details later this year. That means no. Does the compilation of classic games include Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 games? At launch, the classic game library will include NES games. Super NES games continue to be under consideration, but we have nothing further to announce at this time. They didn't even mention Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Or GameCube. Will the test version of the chat app, this chat app, I got something to talk about this, be launching this summer still? Will it include the appointment feature? Starting this summer, any Nintendo Switch owner with a Nintendo account and a supported smart device will be able to use a version of the smart device app with limited functionality. We have nothing further to announce at this time. I'm going to say that. That's going to be my new line. Is a subscription to the Switch online service the only way to get classic games, or will there also be a virtual console type service that allows you to purchase games individually? What do you think they said, Sean?
We have nothing further to announce at this time.
That is correct. So, what is up with the virtual console? Are we not getting... Now, as much as I love this...
I would prefer this to a virtual console.
Yes.
However, I don't like... that we're not going to get this until 2018 at least. And that's not January 2018. That's 2018.
Yep. So if you want to play Link to the Past, you really want to play Link to the Past, you got to buy it or borrow my Wii U, actually.
Well, yeah. But so I know back when we were...
Or just wait till later this year, but that's what... Yeah.
I know back when we were first talking about... When we were first talking about the NX at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, if Nintendo does this, they've won.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like they weren't going to do it. Now it seems like they're going to do it, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. So there's no way we don't get Super Nintendo games on here. It may not be till after the SNES Classic has come and gone.
You nailed it.
Maybe N64.
Apparently.
But I think there will still be a virtual console, whether they call it that or not, for like GameCube games, maybe Wii games that are download separately. I don't think they're going to be part of this service. I think this tops out
NES and Super NES.
Maybe N64, but it may just be NES and SNES, which honestly I'm fine with. That's where the majority of the old school games are that I want to play.
I would even be fine if they said, so this $20 gets you online play, chat functionality, and you can play any NES game that we put out in the library.
Right.
For $29.99 a year, you get Super Nintendo games also. And
yeah.
for $39.99, you get
$40 a year.
Right. Less than
I'd
PS
pay
Plus.
$10 a month easy for this.
We said we'd both play $10 a month easy for that. Yeah.
So I mean,
that's what if they do that. I'm
whatever
saying
they got to
still
do. Yeah, they can do a tiered structure. That's totally fine with me.
I do think
not to mention if they do follow through with this like added online element. I don't think it's going to be new gameplay modes. Like I don't think Super Mario 3 will have some new online mode that never existed. Right. But even if it is just we both log on, I watch you play, and when you die, I get to play.
Yes.
Like it's just as if we were in the same room, but we don't have to be. That's perfectly fine.
Or if they put double dribble up there or bases loaded and we can play against each other.
That would be awesome.
That's so cool.
My biggest thing, and I don't know if they've touched on this yet, is this going to be like, what is it, PS Now or whatever? Where do you need an online? Do you need to be online to play these games, or can you like download them? Like if I'm up on an airplane or something, I want to be able to play like to the past.
Pretty sure
I don't want to have to be on the internet to be able to play it. That's my biggest concern right now, which I don't know if they
users can play as many of the games they want as often as they like, as long as they have an active subscription. Is all that they've said. What I think it will be is what they should. Actually, I don't think this is what it will be. I don't know what they should do. You made that really difficult right there. What they should do. PS Plus games, you download them, they're free. But if you stop your PS Plus membership, even if they're on your hard drive, you can't play them because your license is gone.
Right.
That's what they need to do.
I hope that's
you
what
have
they
to
do.
be able to play
Yeah.
this on airplanes and stuff. Otherwise, everything I just said goes out the window.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think 100% they're not going to put SNES games in this thing until the SNES Classic has been defuncted a year from now.
Yeah.
It sucks that this isn't coming until 2018. I like that I can keep playing Street Fighter Online for free until then. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Mario Kart and whatever else I end up getting. But I hated that it's not until 2018. But again, I've got the NES Classic. I'm going to get the SNES Classic when it comes out. One way or the other, I'm getting that system. Oh God, I can't even wait. But the SNES Classic has to be influencing that decision. It has to be.
My other big concern, I don't like the fact that they're calling out specific games right now.
That's what makes me think it's just going to be the 30 games that were on the NES Classic at least to start. It's going to be those 30 games.
Maybe
I will
just
predict
start
that right now.
If that's to start, that's fine. But if I don't want this to mean I can't, it should be at least
The
for
virtual
NES,
console library, yeah.
At least for NES, it should at least be that. There's no reason it couldn't be the full, aside from any kind of
Licensing, whatever.
Yeah.
Like Ninja Turtles 2 and 3.
Exactly.
We'll never get to play
It
it again
should
because
be
Konami
the
doesn't have the license.
full NES library.
Yeah.
There's no reason it can't be. Those games are like 500 kilobytes a piece. Like,
Right.
just throw them all on there, be done with it. But if it's the 30 games from the NES Classic to start, and that's not the final product, okay. But I would hate to think that I couldn't play Contra. I only can play Super C.
Right.
That I have to play Castlevania 1 and 2, but I can't
not
play
the best
Castlevania
Castlevania
3.
ever. Yeah.
So I'm hoping, when you sent that to me the other day, I thought that was just kind of a rumor, and then I was like, wait, no, this is coming straight from
No,
Nintendo.
it's actually a thing, yeah.
But it sounds like I don't know. There's a lot more to come, I think, but
Yes.
God, if they do this right, when we were talking about how if they did this, that would be huge, I thought there was a chance, technologically speaking, there's no reason they can't do it.
Of course, right.
But I remember thinking, there's a chance they do this, but it just seems too good to be true, and they probably won't do it. And sure enough, they weren't going to do it. And now all of a sudden it sounds like maybe they will. I just hope they do it right. If they nail this, I forget about it. They've I don't want to overstep my bounds, but it almost seems like they will have won. Where do you even put the Switch? Is it this gen? Is it next gen? Is it last gen? I don't even know what you call it.
It's not even, yeah. Because the Wii U was in between the 3 and the 4. This is between the 4 and the 5.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Whatever comes next.
Yeah.
The other thing that was part of this is that they announced that, like I said, the chat app is coming. Have you seen how you can chat online on the Switch?
I have not.
I hope I remember to put this in here, because
Right here.
up here,
Maybe.
this is what you have to do. You have to get your Switch. Remember how they said, oh, it'll be great because you can just use your smartphone. That's what Reggie said when they announced this stuff, to chat. Oh, no. You can't just talk to your smartphone. You know what you got to do? You take a plug from the 3.5 millimeter jack out of your Switch into this dongle. Then you take your phone and you go from the 3.5 millimeter switch on your phone into the dongle. Then you go from the dongle, take that, and you go from that, you plug your headphones into the dongle. So you have 3 wires going to chat online. Now,
What is your smartphone even doing at that point?
I have no idea. You're just using your minutes or something? I have no idea. I don't have a dog in the fight because I don't need to chat online. If Sean and I wanted to, we could like Skype or something. Or we could just get on our phone.
But it should be so much easier than this.
This is insane. Hopefully I'll remember to put this picture in. If not, Google it. That is the most, I will never, I love Nintendo. I will never defend
I'm
this.
not
This
messing
is
with that.
horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Screwed that up big time, Nintendo. You got to fix that. There is no reason it shouldn't be built into the console. Maybe that'll still come in an update later on. But holy crap, did they screw that up. Anything else you want to add on the Switch announcements, Sean?
I have nothing further to announce at this time. I can't get this off my head.
The Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming in-house Tetsuya Nomura is now directing. If you don't know who that is, he's mostly directed every Kingdom Hearts game, including Kingdom Hearts 358 divided by 2 days, Kingdom Hearts 2.85 Remix HD, I think. Now I'm just going to make up names. But yeah, so this comes from Square Enix to Kotaku. Quote, I've taken over the development side of the Final Fantasy remake, Hamaguchi said. He's not the director. He's somebody up there, but that other guy I said is directing it. Up until now, development has progressed by receiving external collaboration, which was with CyberConnect. That was me editorializing. But from here on out, with production and quality in mind, we're shifting to our in-house organization. The company's decision was made wanting to control... Yeah, I bet. That's what you feel like. Was made wanting to control quality as well as keeping the schedule stable. This game is never going to see the light of day, and I hate that because this was the Final Fantasy game that I was going to play, the Final Fantasy 7 game I was going to play. This game is literally never going to come out. We still don't have a date on Kingdom Hearts 3, which has been in development forever, longer than this. They first showed this game off 2 years ago at E3. We are not... My prediction last year... One of my E3 predictions was that Episode 1 was going to come out September of this year for the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy 7 in the U.S. Hell no. We ain't getting nothing. We're not going to get a demo. We're not going to get anything. Nothing for this game. Does this game ever come out? Second question to you, how heartbroken are you with how effed up this has become?
I'm starting to think no, which sucks, but at the same time leading into B, I had already kind of prepared myself for that. I never thought this would ever happen.
Yeah.
And even when they announced it, I was like, sweet. But I'm not going to hold my breath for this thing. And sure enough, it's playing out exactly as I feared it would. This game is... I don't want to be too much of a Debbie Downer. This game is... Possibly never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen, and I hate that. I wanted to play this game so bad, that especially once I finally played Final Fantasy 7 for the half hour that I did. But I saw Cloud jump onto the train and all that, and then I remembered back that debut trailer where they showed Cloud surrounded by all the soldiers and they all shoot him and he runs and he jumps on the train. I'm like, oh my god! Like for somebody like you. Or anybody that, like, Final Fantasy 7 is one of their favorite games of all time, seeing that just had to be like, take me now, Lord. I can die happy.
Probably to insane. A lesser extent, but the easiest thing I can put it into comparison for you is if this was a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Now you
Imagine
are
if there's
more,
a Final Fantasy 7 pachinko machine.
You are bigger into Metal Gear Solid,
yeah,
and specifically Metal Gear Solid 3 than I am into Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I feel.
It's why I was so conflicted when they showed the pachinko and they showed all those cutscenes, and I was like, this is a dream come true, but it's a slot machine. You know? And again, it's never gonna come out. It's just, this isn't gonna come out. We're never gonna...
Nope.
Nothing further to add, Your Honor?
Nothing further to add at this time.
Few release date notes, and then the PS Plus games were confirmed. First, Sonic Mania is out August 15th. I'm very happy about that. Perfect timing. A week before Uncharted The Lost Legacy comes out. It was a week before Shadow of War, but that must have got scared off of Sonic Mania because now Shadow of War is now coming out in October. Need for Speed Payback was also announced. That's coming out November 10th. I don't care about it. It looks beautiful, but I haven't really cared about a Need for Speed game since 96 or whenever we had ours on the PC. And Randy loved it too. Randy would always be the Viper. I'd be the Lamborghini. I think you were the Ferrari always.
I went back and forth between the Lambo and the Ferrari.
Yeah, the Viper.
But God, I love that Acura NSX.
Yes.
To this day, anytime I see one of those, I mean the old ones.
Yeah, no,
I don't think I've seen a new one, but those old ones are beautiful.
They were so cool. And last but not least, the PS Plus games were confirmed for June, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. PS4 does, in fact, get Killing Floor 2 and Life is Strange. Oh, breaking news. Cesaro and Sheamus won the tag titles. You're seeing this 2 days after it happened, but I did not expect that. Maybe they'll finally be broken now. The Hardys will.
I
Maybe they
hope
finally got the whole copyright thing done. PS Plus. So yeah, PS4 gets Killing Floor 2 and Life is Strange. Are you excited for Life is Strange? Because I am. Logan has got me so hyped up for this game. I can't wait to cry my eyes out and all that.
I heard a
stuff,
lot about it. I heard a lot about it. I heard
You got it. You got it. Just
it sounded like
going.
I was missing a syllable.
Heard a lot
I heard a lot
about
about it, but I didn't really know much of what it was. And I looked it up. And so, is this a quote unquote walking simulator, or is there action? I know it's got the whole thing where you can like rewind. It's the whole butterfly.
I don't think
thing.
it's a walking simulator. I think it's more a Telltale Games kind of game. That's what Logan is saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm especially for free. I'm absolutely looking forward to this game. Killing Floor 2, I don't really know a whole lot about, but
It's like
I
a
mean,
zombie
for free,
mostly
whatever.
multiplayer
I'll
game
check
or
it
something.
out.
I'll download it at least so I've got it in the system.
But no, Life is Strange. I'm absolutely looking forward to. I think that's going to be awesome.
PS3 also got Abyss Odyssey. I have no idea what that is. And World Rally Championship, WRC5. So other than the PS4 games, PlayStation, you're sucking again. Vita got Neon Chrome and Spy Chameleon, which are both cross-buy with the PS4. I don't have anything else to say there. Why are you folding that up?
No reason.
I'm going to need that for my timestamps.
Yeah, that's fine.
You need to throw the other one. Are you ready for our E3 predictions, everybody? Sean, are you ready?
I am ready.
We are going to do, this is probably my favorite episode of the year. Although the E3 recaps are awesome too, because we're on such a high. But I love,
yeah.
Well, hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully we're on
Last
high.
year was fantastic.
Last year's PlayStation conference was the best ever. So we're going to run through what, I wouldn't even say what we think is going to happen. I would say what we hope.
That's more what mine
Perfect world. Mine is like, if I could craft Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft and PC or whoever's conferences, this is what I would do. Are any of these probably going to come to? Probably not. But this is what's so fun about this time of year is the hope and everything. It's like E3 is Christmas for video game fans.
Yes.
And it's such a magical time of the year. I absolutely love it. We've only been doing this podcast for about 18 months now. Last year, this was so much fun when we did this, and then we did the recap the next week, which we'll talk about that later. But, yeah. E3 2017 predictions.
Shout out to this guy last year.
He won it. Because of you basically won it because you nailed Resident Evil.
I nailed Resident
100%.
Evil to the name. I didn't call the whole first-person thing. I didn't realize the kitchen.
But you called about
whatever.
Silent Hills and stuff.
Yeah, I said I wanted. Now,
PT.
again, that was more what I wanted, not what I was thinking it was actually going to happen, but it did. I said I wanted a game that I was scared to play
And
by
they put out
myself
the demo
at night.
last year. They put out the demo last year, too, during E3.
Oh, yeah. I said I basically wanted what Silent Hills was, but Resident Evil. And I said they should call it Biohazard. Zelda, I more or less called.
You
that
ended
didn't come
up-
out at E3.
We didn't
but-
know much about E3. I think we got that first trailer, but we didn't know what the game really was at E3. But you ended up, everything you said about it, pretty much, you're like, I don't think they're really, what did you say? The dungeons aren't going to be like dungeons in the past. Like
They were at least, yeah. They were certainly not like dungeons in the past, but they weren't like what I was thinking. I thought it was all going to be much more like grounded in reality.
And you
Like,
said it
the
wasn't
dungeons
gonna
are
be
gonna be
like-
like a cave or like
it wasn't
a forest.
Yeah.
Not,
You said it wasn't going to be like Hyrule Field leads to this and leads to this. Where
Right.
It
It was just gonna be-
you would be walking through a forest and then eventually it would kind of start getting rocky and then all of a sudden you'd be in Death Mountain.
Right.
So you nailed Zelda too.
nailed it.
Zelda
I am
also.
not as hopeful this year. I may strike out completely, but if you reach for the what's it called? If you
Reach
shoot for the
stars. You can
and
only hit
something
the
like that.
lights.
No, honestly, what it is I think the saying, and it drives me nuts, is shoot for the moon, and if you fail, at least you land among the stars. Or
That's
something
not
like
true.
That.
You can't.
Not
land
even
amongst
true. The moon
stars
is
are
like
so much further away. No, that's
Thank you.
dumb. That's
Thank you.
stupid. People are dumb.
People
all
are
these
dumb.
sayings are dumb. I mean, not all of them. Some are great.
If you don't like me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
All right.
Marilyn Monroe.
It's just so stupid.
What is that from?
It's from Facebook. It's from the internet.
Okay, it sounds like I thought you were doing like a Michael Scott thing or something.
No, that's
Quoting
people
Marilyn
putting out
Monroe.
these stupid quotes
Right.
that were probably never even said.
With like a sunset in the background.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so again, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
That's not again. But again, E3 2017 predictions. This is probably going to be a long podcast. I don't care. It's going to be a lot of fun. I might have you walk over there and get me one more beer here in a minute, but we'll see.
Anytime. I may grab
And
myself
you can have one too. Prediction number 1.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Are we doing like
We're going to
honorable
do
mentions?
5.
I know.
No,
but-
no. We're not going to do honorable mentions. We can do it at the end because I don't know if you're going to steal some of mine and then I have to go. I have to.
Oh, so you
get
want to do
another
our
one in the
top
chamber.
ones
Our
first?
top 5,
Okay.
unless they get picked.
Okay.
5 predictions. I should have said that. Prediction number 1. We touched on this earlier, and I'm not talking about this beautiful table that we crafted.
But we touch on this.
We
all the
touch on
time.
this a lot. I sure do. I could wrap myself in velvet. I'm just going to say it. Konami announces the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, and it's live. It's a real thing, and it's happening. Not only that, here's what I think they do. I think they lead off. They don't say anything about it. I do think, again, I think they're at Microsoft's conference. Because of all the stuff with Sony and Hideo teaming up with Kojima Productions, they won't go on stage for Sony. Because Sony...
No.
as much-
If this happens, it's not
Oh no,
happening.
it's
at
going.
Sony.
It's going to happen. But here's how it's going. Here's how it's going to happen. They're going to come out on stage. They're going to say something about PES has been so successful. Blah blah blah. And we got one more thing. Whatever. Then they're going to show another trailer for Metal Gear Survive. In that trailer, they're probably going to show what the zombie Metal Gear looks like. I don't care about any of that. I don't even want to think about it. Then the lights are going to go down, but then it's going to all of a sudden you're going to see like you're going to hear that codec sound from Metal Gear Solid 3. And it's just going to be that and a blank screen. Everybody's going to go you're going to hear the crowd go crazy. And then you're going to see it come up. You're going to see Snake go I've landed in the jungle or whatever he says when he lands down for the virtuous mission and everything. He's going to say commencing virtuous mission. And I'm going to lose my mind. Somehow they're going to show Survive. They're going to end the showing of Survive with a tease for Metal Gear Solid 3, the remake. Now, in a perfect world, I would say it's out this September. But it's going to come out this September. No. It's not going to come out this September. That's not what I meant to say. I think Metal Gear Survive is probably out this September. And to make me buy it, those bastards are going to include a demo code in Survive. You buy Survive, you get a demo of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remake, and then it comes out next fall. It's going to happen. I am calling it because it's the only thing that can save Konami for me. The new Bomberman game is not great. I thought that was going to get Konami back in my good graces. It did not. It's actually just what is that? It just didn't.
So, as much as I don't think that's going to happen, even if somehow we knew it was going to happen, I don't think they. To me, I think they would probably keep it separate from Survive.
I think the way
I think if
do
they ever
that-
did it, it would just be too total. It wouldn't even. They wouldn't even
in
acknowledge
terms
them
of E3 or in terms of the actual sale of the game and the demo and all that.
both really, but
Yeah.
E3 I'm talking.
Okay.
I don't think they would pair it with. I think they would.
I think they have to know though that Survive really nobody wants this game. And the only way you can make people to want this game is to say, "Oh yeah, but wait, we haven't forgot about you real Metal Gear fans. Look what's coming."
Yeah.
There is no way, I forgot to say this, there's no way they made those stupid friggin' pachinko machines with those cutscenes recreated shot for shot. This isn't like they redid the cutscenes. This is the exact camera angles, dialogue in Japanese. But the dialogue, everything is exactly the same as Snake Eater. That's what I want this to be. I don't want this to be like Twin Snakes where Snake's doing all these weird like ninja backflips and all this other stuff. I don't want that. I want Metal Gear Solid 3 in the Fox engine with Metal Gear Solid 5's controls. Now, I don't care about enemy placements and stuff like that. I'm fine if that changes because that should change when you've got like you can crouch walk and other stuff. I'm fine if you add more enemies, whatever it is. I don't care. But the story and the cutscenes are the same as they always were in the Fox engine. And Konami, take my money. Just take it. If you do a limited edition, I'll buy it. I'll buy whatever. I don't care. Has to happen. And I really think so. I went back. So last year I predicted they were going to do a remake. But I predicted it was going to be one. And the reason I thought that was because it was A couple months after they had canceled the Shadow Moses remake. And I thought leading off of that they were going to remake 1. They're not going to remake 1. If they do it, it only makes sense that it's 3, especially because of the pachinko machine.
In the new engine, 3 would work so much better than 1.
Yes, they've already got jungles built and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. The whole environment it makes more sense.
Snake Eater Remastered. And that's what will they call it? They will call it Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remastered. Remastered on.
Okay. So I have all mine here, but I'm not entirely sure what order I want to do.
Oh, I've got mine in order because otherwise I'd get way too confused.
All right. I'm going to play off yours a little bit. My first prediction, we see some legit, actual gameplay footage of Death Stranding.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I still think this game is at least probably a year. I think it's like fall
at least
20,
7 years away.
I think it's at least fall 2018, and by fall I mean
There's
maybe
no
even
way.
winter, maybe even like late fall, winter 2018.
This is a 2019 game if we're lucky.
But I think we're gonna see Death Stranding.
I would love if we actually saw what this game.
But I think we're gonna see more than
is-
just these cutscenes.
Yeah.
We're gonna see some. I don't want to hedge my bet too much, but I mean, my prediction is gameplay footage. We may not get that, but I think we will at least get some kind of footage that lets us know what this
the hell
game
this
is. Yes, is it gonna be Metal Gear Solid 5? Is it more or less the Fox engine? Is it gonna play like Metal Gear Solid 5, just different characters, different environment, or is it gonna? I mean, honestly, we have no idea. So
None.
My prediction is gameplay footage of Death Stranding. Hedged bet is maybe not gameplay footage, but at least
something
some
that tells
kind
us
of
what the hell this game is.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll lead off with that one.
Oh man, it will be there. It will definitely be there. But in what capacity? So we've now seen it. We saw it debut at E3 last year.
But when was it that we saw what we saw with like Mads and all that? And
That was at PSX. That was December. So E3, we
There's
saw
no
the
way
first one.
that
E3 was Norman Reedus.
that was just a teaser.
Yes.
There's no way that from PSX to E3, all we get is another like cutscene kind of thing. They need to improve on it. They can't just show us more of, hey, here's some people that you don't know who they are yet, and they're just standing around and talking and smirking.
But it's Kojima.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we have to get more than that. And I think the only way to do that is maybe not, like I said, maybe not all the way to actual gameplay footage, but some kind of inkling as to how this game will play. They can't just show another cutscene type thing, because then we're going to be like, so what have you done in the last 6 months? You wrote this cutscene?
Or what
before
have you
you
done
had
the
that
last year?
cutscene,
What
and
have you
now
done the
have
last
this?
year?
Well, really?
Really?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think Death Stranding is
I
a
would
big
love
part.
it.
But I'm aiming for the fences. I'm going to say we get gameplay footage of Death Stranding.
And I will say, are you going over there?
I am.
Thank you. Yeah, hook me up, brother man. I will say this. This might surprise you, but I do not have any God of War predictions in my predictions.
I don't think I do either.
Because I think God of War obviously is going to be there. I think we'll probably figure out more of what the game is. I think they will name a window. I don't think they will name a release date, but I think we will get more God of War. So stuff like that I didn't want to say. But that's just, and I will tell you right now, even if they say that game's coming out this fall, it will get delayed. That game is not coming out this fall. That game will be out next March. Book it, Dano. Yeah, I said that. Now, my next prediction, I'm going to go ahead and put 3 into 1 because they're all related. And I'm almost more excited about this than I am about Metal Gear Solid 3, the remake, coming out, because it is happening. Zelda is going to be there in a big way. Even if all we get, even if I'm completely wrong, even if all we get is a teaser of what the end of the year DLC is, the dungeon, whatever it's going to be. Zelda's going to be there. It's not just going to be Mario Odyssey. They now have a system out. They need to sell games for this system. They announce... I dropped it too early. Zelda Maker. Damn it, I'm going to need that pen. They announced Zelda Maker. Not only that, do you know what Zelda Maker is? And here's why I'm saying this. Have you seen the way that they plotted out Breath of the Wild in
The
Zelda 1
engine?
It's happening. If you look at those things, there are shadows behind the 8-bit sprites, just like there is on Mario Maker. Mario 1 Maker? Mario Maker, Mario 1 sprite. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There are the shadows behind it like it is when you play Mario Maker. This is going to be out on the Switch. You're going to be able to choose 8-bit, 16-bit, or Link Between Worlds bit. And you can make your own Zelda dungeons. Not overworld, because who the hell wants to make an overworld? That's not going to do it. Nobody cares about that. That's really far away. So after I do my predictions, I'll pick up my pen. So Zelda Maker. Not only that, Zelda is going to be their big way, because you know what they're going to announce? Link Between Worlds HD.
Okay.
Coming out next year, 5 years after Link Between Worlds came out, which is insane to think that came, because that was 2013. That was November 2013. So November next year is 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, that was 13.
Not only that, 3 parts. They tease. Actually, I'm wrong on the date because this throws my next prediction. We get a teaser for a new 2D Zelda coming out next year on the Switch. Come at me, bro. 3-part. Zelda Maker, LBTW, HD, and a new 2D Zelda. Zelda's going to be there in a big way. 3-part prediction, all encompassing. All 3 are going to be right. Thoughts?
I don't think we see much of Zelda. But I am beyond intrigued by Zelda Maker. That never even crossed my mind.
Really?
That adds... Mario Maker seems like the kind of game... Mario seems like the perfect game for a Maker game.
Yes.
Zelda... Now, granted, there's an art form. There's an art to even Mario 1.
Some people's levels.
Well, yes. But I'm saying just the original Mario 1 levels. They were not that complex. You look at it and you think, I could create this, or something like it.
World 1-1 teaches you everything you need to know about that game. Except swimming, it teaches you everything you need to know about that game.
But even I don't know if who've put hundreds, maybe hundreds of hours into Zelda games throughout my life. I don't know that I can make a good Zelda level. But at the same time, a lot of people don't make good Mario levels, and it's still
they don't, and it's
fun.
still fun. And here's the thing. Here's what some of you are saying, that's not going to work. You don't have the stylus like on the Wii U. You create the levels in handheld mode. You have a touchscreen with your finger. You do a pop, 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 drag here, do this. Or if you want, you can do it on the big screen, and you can use your controller and do whatever. But I would make them on the Switch. You can upload them. You can do all that other stuff like you can on Mario Maker, except it's Zelda. I am so intrigued by this. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that Breath of the Wild was plotted out in Zelda 1. I was like, "Oh my God, they're going to do it."
I think it's very unlikely, but
this is
God, I would
of my first
love that.
Of my 2 predictions so far. This one is
Metal Gear Solid 3 is much
way more
likely
than anything on this list. Well, no, I will say, but I am confident if we don't get Link Between Worlds HD, I will be sad. I will also just go buy it on my 3DS. Because it sure doesn't seem like they're even thinking about 3DS games coming out on the Switch.
Yeah.
Based on what we talked about earlier. But Link Between Worlds HD would be amazing. They are definitely... They all but said, I should say, that they are making a new 2D Zelda game when they talked about how the 3DS team and the Breath of the Wild team are going to come together. They're going to work on different things, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
There is going to be a new 2D Zelda. I might be way too early. It might be a 2019 game,
So, I think,
but it's coming.
I think Zelda Maker sounds awesome. I don't think it's happening. I think of the three you gave, I would say Link Between Worlds HD is probably the most likely.
But think about it. If it does come out next year, that's 5 years.
But I do
anniversary.
I think you're about a year early on the next announcement of a new 2D Zelda game.
Yeah.
I think that's next year E3. It could be this year, but I think maybe a year early. But if any of those three happen,
Oh my God. I'll be
for
so
me, it's
happy.
like, okay, Nintendo wins.
Well,
Mark
and
it down.
If Metal Gear Solid 3 the remake is real and any of that happens, okay, I'm very happy right now.
Yeah. I will say I'm intrigued by all three of those. Personally, I don't think we see much of Zelda other than maybe a little bit more on what the DLC is for Breath of the Wild.
It'll probably actually just be the summer DLC. It'll be here's what the Cave of Trials is.
We probably won't even get the holiday one.
Here's
but
what the map looks like with your little green footprints all over the place, but
I can't wait for that.
I can't. That'll make me get back into it for sure. I still say, unrelated to this, I still say I'm gonna do Metal Gear Solid 5 on a fresh save this summer.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 2?
Okay, number 2. I kind of have. This is kind of a two-parter. Similar.
I
to
did a
yours.
3-parter, so feel free.
Again, I'm being very hopeful here, but I think we get maybe not a release date, but we at least get a teaser and maybe like a coming 2018 or 2019, God knows what. I think we see something. Part 1. I think we see something from Kingdom Hearts 3. There's no way this does not happen before Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, yes.
Neither of them may happen. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to happen eventually. Final Fantasy VII may never happen.
I am confident that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to come out. And it will come out before Final Fantasy VII Remake. I am not confident all the
But it
Final
may
Fantasy
be years
Remake
away.
ever even happens, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my number 1.
I love these
my
microphones.
my
They're so... They only pick up what's right in front of them.
my number 2.
Floater.
Oh God, timeout. So last
you just
Monday,
get really emotional about a floater.
last Monday we had a Memorial Day barbecue here. I drank a lot. Somebody brought over like a margarita. I mean, not a margarita
Richard and
maker,
Shelley did.
but
Yep.
an ice crusher to make margaritas. I had a few of them.
Ice Crusher sounds like a fatality.
I like margaritas.
I love
Then Dad, Poppy, shout out to Poppy, proceeded to throw me in the pool. And that was fine because it felt really good. But I was drunk-ish. And that little green floaty thing, inner tube thing,
Yes.
I don't remember if I came up with the idea. It was probably my idea. But I decided to just, in the shallow end, I decided to see if I could dive through it. And I went,
How did I miss this?
instead of doing this,
Yeah, that's not how
I did this.
The hole is about literally like this big.
Well,
if
so-
you're listening on audio, you should be at YouTube.
I'm a pretty skinny guy, so I'm like,
You're
I'm
not
looking
that
at this, I'm
skinny.
like, I think I can fit through. And I fit through it. But when I got through it, I kind of had to do a little, I pushed myself through.
You almost lost your beer on the tile floor.
And when I did this, not only did I pick up speed, my arms are now behind me, and my head just went boom
Doink.
into the bottom of the pool. And I don't know if it's related.
Shallow end or
Shallow end.
okay.
Probably related. But ever since that day, or at least ever since the following
been
morning,
really stupid.
my neck hurts. Like, and it
Oh, my
doesn't make sense
ankle.
because like it only hurts. Like right now, it's fine. It's when I turn it.
Don't turn it. That's what I tell Nick all the time. Dad,
But-
it hurts when I do this.
I don't know. I think I jacked my neck up. But anyway, so part 1, I think we see Kingdom Hearts 3. Part 2, probably more likely, and honestly, I'd almost be more happy to see because it would be a much shorter term resolution. I'm going to say we get, similar to Uncharted, I think we get a Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 HD PS4 remake thing. A bundled Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 HD remake on PS4.
Isn't that already coming out?
Oh, is it? Maybe. I mean, if it is, I'm very excited,
know.
but I don't remember hearing about that.
There's so many freaking Kingdom Hearts.
Exactly.
There's so many dot this and remix HD this.
I've never gotten into any of them. I've only played one. Oh, actually, I played two. I owned one. I beat it a couple times. I've played two. I think Jason owned it. I think I played on his a little bit, but yeah, all these other chain of memories and dot 0.5
358 divided by 2 days.
358 half day. Yeah. I mean, if that already exists, or if it's already been announced,
Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 remix for PlayStation 4.
It's out, or it's just been announced. But I don't even. But what is 1.5? Is it just?
It's out.
But is it just 1 and 2?
I don't know what it means. I just know it. I just know it's that. I don't.
I've
know
just
what it
lost
means.
track. All right.
I don't know what it means.
Can I zoom in on that?
I don't know.
So maybe it is the original game. I always thought the 1.5
That's
and
what
the
I'm saying.
2.5s were like
I don't know if they're the actual game.
a Game
or what
Boy
they are.
Advance kind of thing, or like a Vita.
Don't
With the
hate on
addition
Vita.
of
Don't
the
hate on
Kingdom
Vita.
Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
God Almighty.
Okay, maybe I stand corrected. If this already exists, I need to probably pick it up. If this is, in fact, Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 HD remakes, whatever, well, then I need to go pick this up soon. But
Well, you got Kingdom Hearts 3 either way.
yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is my true prediction. This is also kind of a hedging my bet, which apparently is a very good prediction because it may already be out. But yeah, my number 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, is shown in some fashion. I know it's already been
Do they
announced.
put a date on it?
I think at most
a
a
year.
year.
Okay.
Maybe
Do they
a
say
year.
2018? I almost think at this point they need
They
to,
may say
to give
2018.
themselves a date. You know what I mean?
They may say 2018 with no. When they know 2018, it's just not going to happen. I think it's at least a 2019 game, but they may say 2018. I'll say that.
I like it.
These next 3, I don't know what order to do them in.
I know what order I'm doing mine in. After this, I don't know which other ones I'm going to pick, but these were my top 3. You could have also said my top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if I would have split Zelda up. But I'm like, I don't want Sean to take any of these, and I guess you didn't.
I have no Zelda on mine.
Sony comes out, and they do not say the word PlayStation. Well, they don't say the words PlayStation Vita.
Your prediction is that they don't mention it.
Until they announce the Vita 2! I don't know what... I'm not going to say it's called the Vita 2 because it's not going to be called the Vita 2. They're going to tease, not going to come out this year, going to come out next year, a new Sony handheld system. It will be backwards compatible with all Vita games, all PSP games. It will be way more powerful than the Switch, and you will... I don't know how the technology is going to work, but you will be able to play it on your TV, either via just an HDMI cable.
Will it be like the Switch,
or a
where
wireless
is a
dongle?
hybrid handheld?
Kind of, but it won't be as much of a hybrid as a Switch is because the PS4 is their bread and butter. But it will be something I think, obviously they haven't had enough time to react to the Switch because it's been out for 3 months. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's been out for 3 months. What day is
3 months yesterday.
Yesterday. Today's the 4th. We're recording this Sunday night. I think they're crazy enough to do it. Sorry, that's a Colin Moriarty quote. It just popped in my head. He always say that Sony's crazy enough to do it again. It's not going to be a hybrid in the way that the Switch is a hybrid, where it is their flagship thing, but it will have 2 triggers. It'll have an R1 and R2 and L1 and L2. That's the only thing the Vita's missing in games. But they're going to do another handheld. They're going to
They definitely are.
tease it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a dongle. I'm going to say dongle as many times as I can in this podcast.
Might as well.
or if it's just going to be HDMI. It's not going to be, you're not going to slide the controllers off and do that kind of stuff.
Right.
But you will be able to, it'll feel...
It is a handheld that you could also play on the big screen.
If you want to, right.
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that that's coming.
I think they're at least working on it. I don't know that they're ever... I
Okay,
don't know that
so
it'll ever actually
timeline.
come out, but... Timeline or timeout? What'd you say?
Timeline.
Okay.
How did I do that? When did PSP get released? Between 2 and 3?
Yeah, but I'm...
And then Vita was between 3 and 4?
No, it was after the 3. It came out after the 3.
What?
The Vita came out in 2011.
Vita was out after 3.
Yeah.
But
the
PSP was between 2 and 3?
Might have been 05. It might have been a year before the PS3.
So it went PS2, PSP,
Oh, yeah, because-
PS3, Vita, PS4?
Peace Walker was 2010. I think Portable Ops... I do everything based on Metal Gear. Peace Walker was 2010. Portable Ops was either... I think Portable Ops was 07, and then 08 was Portable Ops Plus, maybe. So, yeah, I think it came out in 05.
So it was PS2, PSP, PS3, Vita, PS4?
Yeah.
I think you may be onto something.
Am
I
I
think
a year early on this and Zelda?
No, because I think next year we get PS5.
Oh,
PS5
yes.
announcement. And they're not going to announce PS5 and Vita 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the other thing, yes. And it will be forward compatible, not that it will play PS5 games, but something about the system will integrate with whatever the next PlayStation is, which I will predict right now is just called the PlayStation. Okay. You could just say I don't think so. But yeah, I think they announced another handheld. I'm just going to say the Vita 2. I'm not saying it's going to be called that. 'Cause
right, yeah.
You can't just pick out a name of a system in a prediction. But I think they announced another handheld Sony system. And it's Geo Corsi that does it. Caveat to that. Let me write that down. Because Geo Corsi loves the Vita. Sean, you need to play that game. I keep telling you.
This is the only one you've announced or you've predicted
That's
so
very
far
probable.
that I'm not like,
You're nuts.
no, there's no way. I'm like,
Yeah.
that actually could happen.
These are 7.0. I don't need any more of this.
You may be onto something. You are onto something.
I'm onto
because-
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Vita 2.
I could actually see that. Okay.
I got to figure out which my next one's going to be.
All right. I'm going to end with that.
This I can scratch off because I
All
don't
right.
even care about
I'll do this one. Which one do I want to do?
That one's too obvious.
All right.
That one's not ever going to happen.
All right. I'm going out on a limb
Here we go.
because there's too much. I can't even justify it. This is very much a reach. But I can't not do it because it has to happen at some point.
All right. Let me think.
I'm going to guess.
Can I guess what your guess is?
You tell me if, after I announce it, you tell me if
Okay.
you're right.
I'm going to write it down.
Honestly, I don't think it's... This is one that I 100% do not think is going to happen. The first two, I think there's a chance. Of my top 5, this is probably the least likely, but it's one that they have to do it. They have to do it. And I'm putting it down as my prediction because I believe... Hallelujah, I believe Half-Life 3 is coming.
Okay, that's not what I wrote down. Now, I'm not going to show you it because it might still be a prediction of yours.
It might be. Half-Life 3 is coming. There's no way I get... What?
Neville beat Ares in a submission match.
I figured he would because Ares beat him on Raw or whatever.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
God,
Valve
I hope so.
is making money
I
hand over
predicted this
fist.
last year and I was wrong.
Valve is making money hand over fist with Steam. Whatever hand over fist means.
We talked about this on a podcast. We're like, what is it?
But this is a true, more so than Battlefield, this is a true first-person shooter that I would be over the moon excited about.
I would take time off from work to play Half-Life 3.
Yes.
Literally, I would take 2 days,
Yep.
stay home to say, Jess, take the new baby, go somewhere else, go buy some, here's some money. Just go buy clothes. I don't know.
Right.
Go buy something.
I
But
think,
does it come out on console at the same time? That's what will kill me is if it doesn't.
I don't think the same time. I think it. I think I would love it to, but to me, this just reeks of PC.
Yeah.
I think it comes to consoles maybe a year later,
I still got to get the orange box. Damn it.
but the story they've crafted so far with Half-Life and Half-Life 2 and Episode 1 and 2 and all that crap, to just leave that hanging like
It's
that.
not fair.
Right. There's no way.
I don't want to sound entitled or anything, but when you have done, like you said, when you've created such a great, and I will say great story and universe and everything when it comes to Half-Life, it's not fair to fans to just let it fart away in the effing wind, however many other Fs I can alliterate. Like, it's not fair. You can't have us, like, mute protagonists are awesome. Gordon Freeman is that. He never says a word.
Right.
But we have fallen in love with that guy like we've fallen in love with Link over 30 years. It's not fair for us to, like, I'm so invested in a guy that doesn't say anything, in his story, and his world, and how everything's going to play out. And Alex and her dad, spoiler alert, bit the dust in one of the episode 2, I think, whatever it is. Like, I've got to know what happens in that world.
Right.
It's not, I sound like a baby, but it's not fair not to give us Half-Life 3.
And Half-Life 1, we touched on it a little bit on episode 75. Half-Life 1 is unbelievable, at least at the time.
Even now, it doesn't look as good, but the game, everything else still holds up.
Right. And then you look at Half-Life 2, how much better it got. I mean, 1 was great. 2 was unbelievable.
2 is beautiful.
Now, I know
And it came out in
it's
04.
2 did? Mm-hmm. 1 was what, 98, 99?
98.
98?
So we should have already been
We should be on
7 years
Half-Life 4.
removed. Yeah, damn it, Valve.
I don't know. I don't honestly think,
I don't
it's
think
going to happen.
but I hope it does. Now, how do they do the release, though? Because last year mine was, here's Half-Life 3 and it's out. Do they do that, or is it coming November?
I think it's this year.
Okay.
I'm going big. I can't go so big that they're going to be like, yeah, it's out right now. You can go
Yeah.
buy it. But
Because they would shut down. Nobody would go to E3. They'd be like, I'm
Right.
going home.
Exactly.
I'm going home to my PC.
I say it's like a November release, Half-Life 3. Maybe by like spring, summer next year, it's out on consoles. But I can't not make the prediction because it has to happen. This is something I would almost make every year until it happens because it has to happen eventually. It has to. You can't leave that just hanging out there.
I thought about doing it again, but I'm like, I'm not going to do it 2 years in a row.
Well, this is pretty high stakes here. You don't want to just throw away.
I mean, this
prediction.
is like, there's like lots of money riding on this.
Oh God! All right.
Oh, man, I crinkled over. Oh, don't look at
Half-Life 3.
my prediction for your thing. All right, what do I want to do next? I'll go with this one. So, 2 games popped up in my top 75 that are 2 of my favorite games of all time, which is why they popped up in my top 75.
Makes sense.
They popped up very early. There was 4 total games. 2 didn't make the list. That's how math works. This company came out, to me at least, came out of nowhere in 2009 when they released one of my 75 favorite games of all time. They made 2 other games, I should say. There was another one made by another studio, which I think is better than the 4th in the series. I think there's no way. I'm going to give it away here. Okay. We're getting a Justice League game getting announced. It will not tie into the movie at all. But we are finally going to get a Justice League game, and it will be made by Rocksteady. WB owns them, WB Games or whatever it is. What is their best property that WB owns? It is DC Comics, and it is Batman first and foremost, but they said they're done making Batman games. I kind of believe them. I'm going out on a limb saying it's a Justice League game because there was a rumor a few months ago, remember, that there's an Arkham Beautiful game coming out. There's an Arkham... do you remember what they were going to call it?
I didn't know there was a name attached to it.
There was a rumor of a name. It was going to be... Oh, God. It was another prequel game. That's how they're going to get around Batman and the ending of Arkham Knight and everything. Everybody has said for so long we want a Justice League game. You and I have for so long said that we want beat 'em up. I don't know that we want... I think we want beat 'em ups to come back. But we want them to also evolve.
I think the new style of beat 'em
Like
ups
a God of War
is
or
Arkham.
I think... Now, what I'm interested to see is how they do an Arkham game with Superman. Unless... And this is not part of my prediction. Now I'm just pontificating. Unless Superman's a bad guy. Unless they go Injustice. Because
you almost have to.
Because Superman is like... You've leveled up everything in every category, and you've got all your power-ups, and you're fighting... unless you're fighting Darkseid, and maybe Darkseid's a bad guy. I don't know. But I think at this E3, probably at Sony's conference, I would say, because I always associate the Arkham games more with Sony, and that's not because I'm a fanboy. It just seems like they were marketed more with Sony than Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I think we get the announcement, definitely of a new Rocksteady DC game, but I think it's going to be a Justice League game. It's not coming out this year.
Yeah.
I'm not that lucky.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be out next year. And I hate this. I hate that we're going to have these things that are like, a year and a half from now, a new game's coming out. But not everybody can do the Fallout thing. But yes, new Justice League game. Or, well, it's new, but finally we get a real, true Justice League game by the guys that know how to do DC games better than anybody has ever done DC games.
I have nothing further to add.
Number 4.
My number 4. We get a new, not Justice League, but a new Batman
Nice
game. I'm thinking... So my notes...
So will it be an Arkham game?
It'll be an Arkham game.
This is a fun prediction.
So my notes that I have written down here... It'll be in the vein. So I never played Origins, and I didn't play much of Night.
If we do,
So I don't know how those compare to City, but I see this new game being Arkham City. I see this new game being GTA 5 to Arkham City's GTA 4. Huge open world game. I'm thinking
Night was pretty damn big.
I'm thinking, okay, get rid of the tank. No bat tank. New Arkham game, large open world city style game. In the vein and basically in direct competition to Spider-Man. Probably coming out well after Spider-Man even does, but almost...
So
not really a GTA style.
Okay.
But when I think of Arkham City, I think of an open world game, but
Still a closed open world.
Right. If Arkham City was this table, it's like there's stuff to do here, there's stuff to do
Like
there,
Metal
there,
Gear Solid 5.
and there. Right. I think it's more, there's a little bit going on everywhere. I don't know exactly how it plays out. My main prediction is we get a new Arkham game. Not Justice League, Batman.
This is hilarious.
But it is...
Is it a prequel?
See, that I don't know.
Now, you know how Night
I know how
ends.
it ends,
Okay.
yeah. It would kind of have to... I don't know.
They can just go back on their word and
right,
say he
yeah.
faked it. I mean, the game's 2 years old at this point. They can say he faked his...
Yeah, I mean, you already gave it away.
Spoiler alert. They can say he faked his death. Because at the end of the game, they pretty much show that he did fake his death, and now he's just using the Scarecrow's fear toxin or whatever. I mean...
Yeah. I don't know all the specifics. I'm not that tapped into
There was a lot of tanks.
the wire, but I think we get a new Arkham, not Justice League. It will be Batman. It will be Arkham something, and in the style of Arkham City, or apparently Arkham Knight, big open world game, more or less. Excuse me, bless myself.
No, God,
no. That was an isolated incident. This game will be direct competition to Spider-Man. It will be DC's Spider-Man game.
Do you have any predictions about Spider-Man?
I thought about it, but it wouldn't have been anything more than a release date.
It's getting a date.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I love it. Is if DC is making hold on. Rocksteady, I mean. What I wanted to make a prediction, but I didn't do it because they probably can't even get the license, was that Rocksteady was going to make a Ninja Turtles game.
I thought about, because we talked about that, and that's like, where does Rocksteady go from here? What other IP works in that genre? And I think it's Ninja Turtles.
Or even X-Men or something, but I mean, obviously, if they're in bed with WB, they cannot get a
it's tough to
Marvel
go.
game,
Yeah,
period. And Batman and the Turtles have teamed up in the comics.
Yep.
Oh my God, what if they do an Arkham Ninja Turtles game? Arkham Turtles.
Arkham Turtles.
The Technodrome.
Arkham
Drome.
Arkham Ooze.
Secret of the Arkham Ooze. All right, I've got one more prediction.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I do.
I really led off with my two big ones because I didn't want him to steal them, so my fifth one is not going to be that revelatory. I will say this. Do you have a Metroid prediction?
I have nothing further ahead at this time.
I'll leave it alone then. All right. We'll go through our honorable mentions after. I've already crossed out two of mine that I don't think are even going to happen. Yeah, I'll do this one. What the hell? Not only does Konami announce Metal Gear Solid 3, the remake, they also announce something's coming back from the dead that's very important to both of us. It's not very important. But it's a game that we really liked. We're getting a new Zombies Ate My Neighbors game.
Did I talk about this in 75?
We talked about Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but I don't know. We talked about it coming back.
I think I said if
we were
any
both a little drunk.
Old IP is in need of an HD remake, it is this game.
Oh, you did, because I was really drunk and I looked up Ghoul Patrol, which was the sequel to Zombies Ate My Neighbors. You probably don't remember it.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But God, I hope so.
I'll go through my honorable mentions also, but I think that would sell like crazy. A $20 downloadable game, 5-6 hours, 4-player co-op, not just 2-player this time, 4-player couch co-op or online multiplayer. I think that game sells like crazy. I think you take exactly what Zombies Ate My Neighbors was.
You don't have to change much.
You just put
updated graphics, 4
you put
players
an HD
instead of
skin
2.
on it, give it some widescreen, and
Yep.
you just go from there, and it's perfect. You got leaderboards, and I just think it makes too much sense not to bring that game back at some point. There's no way we're the only ones that love. I mean, there's a lot of love for that game, and I think actually, the Ghoul Patrol has kind of a cult following also.
So what was Ghoul Patrol?
It was Zombies Ate My Neighbors 2.
But
they just
like,
didn't
where
even call
did
it
it
that.
come? Like, what's?
It was Konami on the. It was a SNES exclusive.
It was SNES.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a random like PS2 game,
No,
but
no.
it was same system. Mm-hmm. I've never heard of it. Did it play just like Zombies?
Yeah. From what I know of it, yes.
Wow.
That's my number 5. That was kind of I did the big hitters first, but that's my number 5.
All right. My number 5.
I hope you do what I wrote down, and if not, I will then reveal it to you.
Check my notes.
Thank you guys so much for being here for episode 76. Our E3 2017 predictions. Really appreciate you guys being here. We're on Sean's number 5, and then we're going to play everybody's favorite thing of the thing.
So, I think Switch.
Oh, when you said I thought I was going to be right.
Switch needs to come out swinging.
Oh, duh! You're doing what I just said. Okay, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. You come out of the gates with Zelda. Probably game of the year.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe. No, I'm saying what they've already
For
done.
the conference.
You have already come out with Breath of the Wild.
It's game of the year.
Probable game of the year. One of the all-time greats, I would say.
Yes. Undoubtedly.
We have more DLC to come, but eventually you need to. We know we have Mario coming.
Yes.
Eventually. There's a lot of Nintendo IP we have not even begun to hear about for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
We will get something. I'm gonna hedge my bets here. This is another like 2, maybe 3 in 1.
I'm gonna also write down what I think this will now be.
I don't think we get a new Smash.
Oh, okay.
I think this is actually one of my honorable mentions, but I'm going to throw it in here now. We won't get a new Smash. Maybe we get a basically Super Smash Brothers Deluxe.
Yeah.
Take the last one that was out on Wii U, and then I think it's
Include
basically also
all the
out on
characters.
3DS.
Yes.
Put that into one thing, Super Smash Deluxe. I think we get a new Smash game in probably another year, maybe 2.
But
what I want it to be, new Metroid.
so what is your prediction? Smash or Metroid?
It's not Smash. My
Okay.
prediction is my hopeful. What we've been calling predictions.
Yes.
My prediction is Metroid.
2D, 3D, or 2D or first person.
I don't think it'll be 3D. I think it's similar to Resident Evil. We have Metroid, Metroid 2, Super Metroid.
Separate from
Then we have
everything
Prime,
else. Yeah.
Prime 2, Prime 3. Now, granted, there was Metroid Other M, which I owned, and I don't remember much about it.
A lot of people hate
But
that
it was,
game.
I don't
But
remember.
you liked it, I think.
I think I liked it, but I just don't remember. It's not
Right.
very memorable to me, so maybe I didn't like it that much. But it was 2D-ish with, then you could point the Wiimote and go to like first person, whatever. It was that kind of thing. I think we get more of a traditional, I don't know if it's straight 2D, but a more traditional
or 2.5D, I hope.
Metroid game.
Especially as I'm playing through Axiom Verge. God, I hope you are right.
Right. What's weird now is now that we have the Switch, which is this whole hybrid thing, before you could say you've got your, I mean, I'm going way back now, but it was probably around the same time. You had your Metroid Primes on GameCube, and then you had like
The 2D
Fusion and
Advance,
Zero
yeah.
Mission coming out on Game Boy Advance.
You can
Now it's like
fusion those
it's
together.
one system. How do you release a 2D? How do you release a Metroid Prime followed by a Metroid Zero Mission? Even though Zero Mission may be better received, it's weird just to think about the future of Nintendo, where you have this hybrid system that would normally have 2 different tracks of games,
Like 3D Zeldas and 2D Zeldas.
exactly.
Right.
I'm curious to see, and that has nothing to do with my prediction.
Right,
Well, I
right.
guess it kind of does, but I'm just curious to see how that all plays out. But we will get a new game of an existing Nintendo IP. My heart says that is Metroid. More classic traditional Metroid. Whether that means 2D or not, I don't know. Some kind of 2D hybrid thing. But ultimately, what I think it's more likely to be, especially after the success. I mean, if this is coming, it was in the works well before Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, whatever. My gut tells me it's more likely to be an F-Zero.
Oh.
I think that's your most likely. I want to see Metroid more than anything else. I think the most likely IP to be brought back for Nintendo is probably F-Zero, which I never really got into.
I loved it on the SNES, but that's the only one I ever played.
Yeah, I played it on SNES, and I don't remember too much about it. but I think that's probably the most likely one. I would rather it be Metroid. I think we do see an old IP comeback. We're not just going to see Zelda. I don't think we get a new Zelda game. Obviously, everybody already knows Mario Odyssey's coming. There has to be another big Nintendo tease, at least. I want it to be Metroid, but it's probably, my gut tells me it's more likely to be F-Zero. And that is my
I think
number
F-Zero
5.
on the Switch. Just playing through the F-Zero level on the Switch looks beautiful.
That makes me actually want to. I don't know that I would ever buy an F-Zero game because it's kind of like Mario
but
Kart
it depends.
without
is
the.
it a $20 downloadable game or is it a $60 full retail game? $20,
Well,
I'm going to buy F-Zero.
yeah,
that's what I'm
true.
saying. Like they have to.
It's almost like it's Mario Kart. It's like Mario Kart 200cc
Right.
without the shells and
Yeah.
bananas. And it's just pure.
It's more
racing.
skill, not luck
So-
of the power-ups.
Yeah. So I don't know how I feel about it. I do think we see a new release of an old IP. I want it to be Metroid, but I may be a year early on that as well. So I'm going to say it's probably going to be F-Zero.
I think it'll be Metroid.
I hope so.
I had written down here as one of my honorable mentions was a 2D Metroid because Reggie has talked about, he hinted that Metroid's in the works. These were our E3 predictions. Those were our official predictions. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're gonna run through our honorable mentions real quick, and then we're gonna wrap everything up. My other ones were The Order 1887 is announced, and my caveat to that was it's actually going to be a good game this time. It's not just going to be beautiful. It's going to be a good game. Like there was a really good story there for 1886. You should still play that, and that is, if you want a platinum trophy. That is a one playthrough platinum trophy in like 7 hours. If you just follow a guide and just get these collectibles here, there, you're done. It's easy.
Right.
There's a really good story there. There's not a really good game. And they leave on such a big cliffhanger that was actually, it was an annoying cliffhanger, not like God of War 2, like, oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to kill Zeus. This was an annoying cliffhanger, like, what? What happened to person X and person Y? What the hell? What are you thinking?
Right.
And I think Order 1887 will get announced. Also, this was a pipe dream. Resistance comes back on PlayStation.
Maybe.
Can you tell I'm a Sony fan? Do we have any Xbox predictions?
I thought about putting one.
The only one I thought about got kibosh before we even got there was Halo 6 was going to get announced and it was going to go back.
But I
to
knew
what
Halo,
made
but they already
so
pretty much
great.
said Halo 6 was not coming.
They said Halo would not be there, yeah.
Well, no, I thought they said Halo was likely to be there, but it's not going to be.
We'll kind of be there, but it's not going to be Halo 6. is what they
Right,
said.
exactly.
What were your honorable mentions?
I didn't even end up putting it as an honorable mention, but I had a new Gears originally, thinking that's probably the closest thing we get to it. But yeah, no Xbox on mine.
I'm so interested to see what the hell they do with the Scorpio because Halo 6 isn't going to be there. Gears probably won't be there.
like going to be there.
What other? They don't have any big. They don't have the stuff in the chamber like Sony does. They don't have a God of War.
One prediction I was thinking about putting was just that, again, as a Sony fanboy, unabashed Sony fanboy,
Scorpio sucks.
Microsoft does not have a good.
Yeah.
They try to push all these new games for Scorpio, and it's just received like
Fart in the
meh.
wind. Yeah.
But-
I actually thought about.
I thought that was just too generic of a prediction, so I left it off. But
I thought about predicting that Scorpio didn't come out this year. But it seems
That
like at
would
this
be-
point they're so far down the tracks that it has to, so I
yeah.
stopped.
Yeah.
But that was, again, probably me just being an Xbox hater. But anything else you got, or is that everything?
all right. So I originally, before the news broke earlier this week, thought that we were finally going to get a virtual console announcement.
Yeah.
So that's done. One of them was what I just said, a Smash Wii U / 3DS port for Switch. Kind of generic, but I think we do see it's not even worthy of a prediction, but I think we see a lot of Battlefront 2. I don't
that
know.
was the
We've
other
already
thing.
seen gameplay. We already know what the story is for the most part, but I think it was going to expand. I think it'll expand more on the story, who this character is and all that.
I do wonder, building off that before you get to your other one, if we see Amy Hennig's Star Wars game there, the EA game that she's working on.
Maybe. So I took this one off, and I basically replaced it with Kingdom Hearts 3, because even I couldn't be this hopeful. But I was going to say more Final Fantasy VII gameplay, and then I was just like, it's not even worth it.
No.
The last one that I think may happen, which I think... I don't remember if I had it as a prediction last year, but I think it came up during our podcast last year. I'm hopeful for, in the style of what they did with 1, I'm hoping we get a Resident Evil 2 remake.
It's been rumored for so long.
It's almost been rumored for so long now where it's like it's probably not going to happen.
I actually thought that was going to be one of yours.
It was an honorable mention, but it's one of those that it's like I really want it to happen, but it's almost as much of a stretch as like some of my other ones and less of a payoff. I would love to see it, but I would much rather see a Metroid or this new Batman game or, so I bumped it down to honorable mention, but RE2 in the style of RE1 remake.
Right.
Remake.
RE2 HD remake.
Exactly.
Turbo HD remix.
Yes.
That's been our RE3 2017 predictions. You might have thought that was the end of the podcast, but we heard from y'all, and it's not the end of the podcast, is it, Sean?
It is not.
What are we going to do now, Sean? We're going to play the...
It's the back of the box
challenge. If you didn't know, the back box challenge is how we end the podcast here every week on the Two Player Co-op podcast. What this game is we take a previously released retail game. We look at the back of that box. We read that description aloud to the other player. Bleep out any pertinent information that would give the game away or make it too obvious. Then what we do is we let the other player ask some follow-up questions in the form of yes or no questions. Answers. I don't know what I just said. They get to ask yes or no questions to try to figure out what the game is. That's the back box challenge. That's what we're going to do now. I got mine really easily on episode 75, which means I'm probably about to get effed by this dude right here, but we'll see how this goes. You read first because I read first on 75.
I think you're going to get this one easily too. But where is that? Okay. Nope, that's Moohoo.
Oh, I didn't even tell you what my things were you thought you were going to do.
Oh, yeah.
What I thought you were going to see a new Chrono game. Sorry,
wish, but man.
I thought you were going to say Earthbound 4 also at one point. Mother 4, whatever.
Warriors won 132
Yes,
to 113.
Suck it, Bron.
I hope they sweep
I hope
them.
they sweep them. I hope they just blow them out of the freaking...
Okay. Oh, okay. I think you're going to get this.
Let me get mine ready.
Okay, I thought I had this pulled. There it is. Because part of me thinks I may have done this one already, but then I read this, I'm like, this doesn't sound familiar, so maybe not.
I'm going to do this one. I'll save the other one for next week.
The New York sewers were never like this.
It's not my game.
Oh.
It just sounds really obvious.
Oh, that's not Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have bleeped out New York.
Oh. Do you have a mop?
No.
Oh, damn it, Toxic Avenger.
The New York sewers were never like this.
Okay.
You've fallen down a hidden manhole into a world of creatures so terrifying they'd scare the rats away. You can panic and perish, or blast your way through an endless maze of tunnels, searching for the secret passages to your escape. And that's the easy part, because the masters of the caverns lay waiting. Prehistoric creatures so powerful, so gigantic.
Do you play as a plumber?
No.
Damn it.
They literally fill your screen.
Okay.
So load your arsenal and get ready for
The Toxic
blank,
Avenger.
the name of the game.
Okay, this is an 8-bit game.
That is correct.
An NES 8-bit game.
That is correct.
That is correct. What is that from again?
Adam Sandler. I don't know.
On one
Oh,
of
Billy
his-
Madison.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That is correct.
Is this a Nintendo game or did it just come out on the NES?
It is not made by Nintendo.
Okay. Is it a Konami / Ultra game?
No.
Capcom?
No.
All right, I'll stop right there. All right, so you're in the sewer. There's rats. There's creatures that make the rats look like nothing, right?
Correct.
That is correct. Something like that. Is this a top-down game? Perspective. For half of the game?
Some of it, yeah.
Is this a licensed property?
No.
Oh my.
Oh my.
This is... Wait, okay, so you thought this was an easy game. Do we own this?
No. No.
It's not an IP, not Nintendo, not Konami, not Capcom. Okay, so if he thought it would be easy... Oh, think. I mean, is this an action? Oh, wait a... No. Is this a puzzle game?
No.
Okay. I just thought of another game that I forgot to look up the back box for. Is it a platformer? Well, you said
no.
the top-down thing. So part of it must be top-down.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not helping. Is this a game that was recently remade on the Switch?
Yes.
Blaster Master!
Yep.
That's what I was afraid this whole
of.
time, but I was like, I didn't know. I had no idea what the actual
That's why I was
story
glad that you
was.
stopped after Konami and Capcom, because after that, I know you're going to go to like Hudson's.
Sunsoft, that's where I was going. I was like,
just please
we talked
stop.
about this.
And you did, but yeah. Blaster Master.
So what, you go down the sewer and you transport to this other world?
Apparently.
That doesn't really...
I don't remember. The new one, I'm pretty sure, doesn't take place in New York. I'll say that.
Ready?
Sure.
Hey! That's in here with an exclamation. Things are really cooking on... I'll say it.
Burger
Things are
time.
really cooking on Kitchen Island.
Burger time.
Blank's got a scheme to steal the pirate's treasure so he can have his very own castle. You, in bold, help Blank get the treasure by smashing into the magic pots. Each pot changes him into the Dragon Blank, Bull Blank, or Jet Blank. With each change comes new powers. This sounds like the Metal Gear trailer where he's like, with each change, I change too. Dozens of enemies try to stop Blank, but you have the power to beat them.
This is 8-bit?
Yes.
Nintendo.
No.
Game Boy.
Yes.
Do we own this?
I don't know. We didn't own a Game Boy. Wait a minute. You were on autopilot there. We both
Sure
realized at the same
was.
time, like, I don't know what? I threw you off by saying Game Boy.
I think I've already done this. Is it a Wario game? I've either done it or I've looked at this because Kitchen Island sounded familiar. Now
That's why I wanted to
why.
bleep out Kitchen.
Is it like Super Mario World 3 or 4 or something? Wario's Island?
It's Super Mario 3 Wario Land.
Are you sure I haven't done that?
You haven't done it because I would have never gotten it. No, we talked about on one of the podcasts, either at 75 or one of the other 75, about how Super Mario Land 2 is still Mario with the
Right,
bunny
yeah.
ears.
Maybe I've just looked because as soon as he said Kitchen Island, I'm like, well,
See,
that
damn it.
sounded familiar, but I don't know why. So maybe I just read that.
Did you ever
and-
play that on the Game Boy? I don't think I ever actually played it.
Is it
if
one of the
Tim
ones
had
where
it-
like, if
Well,
this
here.
is your Game Boy screen, Wario's like that big?
Yeah, it's like Super Mario Land 2, the sprites. See? They've only got two back. But yeah, I mean, he takes up a lot of the screen.
I don't. I feel like I would have
From
played.
Super Mario Land 1 to this
That's
on
a
the same
huge-
system.
yeah.
That's insane. I know it's still black and white or green and black or whatever, but that's crazy.
I feel like I've played that, but I don't know.
I don't know that Tim owned it. That's the only
Where-
Game Boy I ever played. Well, no, Jess. I think Jess had one back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I played it, but I don't know where I would have played it.
Right.
But
That's it. That's been episode 76 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here, hanging around for our E3 predictions. Speaking of E3, our plan as of now, unless Jess has the baby and throws everything off, is Sunday night we're going to record a podcast to talk about all the weekend stuff at E3, which means Ubisoft, I think, EA, PC, and the big one is Xbox. That's the weekend. We're going to record that Sunday night. It's going to go out. I need those notes. Don't throw that one.
what are you talking about?
Oh, I know what you're doing. You're doing that again. So we're going to record that Sunday night. It's going to go up Monday morning. Full video, full audio at the same time. Our schedule is going to be a little bit different next week because it's busy. I mean, we're not in the industry, but I feel like it's busy for us because of it. Then Monday is the big one. Sony broadcasts 8 o'clock Central until 10 o'clock Central. We're going to be really tired the next day, but we're going to watch that. Sean's going to come over. We're going to record the podcast because that's one we really want to do because, again, Sony's press conference last year was the best ever we've ever seen, we think. We're going to record the recap of that. It's going to go up Tuesday morning, full audio, full video, probably mostly because I'm going to be too lazy to break all that up into topics. But then we'll see how Nintendo goes. We'll probably wait for Nintendo until the next week. So it looks like you're going to get episode 77, episode 78 of us next week. Weekend recap, Sony recap, and then for the next podcast, we're not going to do a Friday video. We're just not going to do it. The next podcast, we'll talk about the fallout from E3. We'll talk about the Nintendo, unless their thing is amazing and they do announce all the Zelda stuff, then we want to do a podcast. Then you get episode 79 also. I don't know, but we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. So that's our plans for E3. Thank you guys so much for being here. But if you didn't know this, we are part of the Nerd 901 family. Go to nerd901.com for all things nerdy in Memphis and around the globe. Also, while you're there, check out Pixels and Papers. They specialize in RPGs, tabletop games. Check them out. Ernie and Derek. Not Derek and... Wait. Not Durney and Eric, right? Eric and Durney.
Eric and Durney.
Right, Nick? It's Eric and Durney, right? I mean, no! You can also find us on Twitter. Check us out. I'm at KevinWhite24. He's at Real Sean White. Together, we're at 2player_co-op. If you like, do you like audio, Sean?
I do.
I like audio too. You know where you can go? SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and audio services around the world. That last bit is completely made up, but maybe we're on other services that I don't know of. But if you like audio podcasts, go there, subscribe, leave a review. It means a lot to us. Thank you guys so much. By the way, also, make sure to go to youtube.com/2playercoop. Hit that subscribe button over there. Hit the like button down here if you like what you see. And if you don't, leave a dislike.
Like that one guy that does it 7 times.
Like that one guy that does it 7 times. I'm just going to say it's just hilarious. Screw it. We've had a few drinks. Mackie or whoever you are hilarious. I just want you to know that you subscribed under 6 or 7 different accounts just to dislike our video. The views in the algorithm mean
are
a lot.
worth way more.
They're worth way more than the dislikes.
downvotes.
So thank you so much because you have to view the video before you dislike it. You're just, whoever you are, you're a complete loser. I just got to say that. If there's 7 of you that are actually coordinating this, you're 7 losers. So whatever.
And coordinating it, let's all downvote at the same time.
Yes. You're one idiot with 7 accounts. Get a life. If it's Mackie or one of his
At least
lackeys.
spread out the 7
actually, you know what?
downvotes so we don't know that it's one guy
Right.
doing it.
Don't do
7
them all
times
at
in a
one
row.
time. Spread them out
Spread it
throughout
out.
the day, okay?
Have
It's
some
not-
self-respect.
I
Come
know
on.
you're not Mackie because Mackie's moved on. It's
He
his
has better
weird
things to do.
lackeys that have not moved on. So Mackie lackeys, thank you for the views. Thank you for the dislikes. It helps us. Dislikes don't factor in the algorithm. I'm glad you finally said something because I want to say something. I don't even care. Thank you so much for the views. We really appreciate it. Where am I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got a Facebook page. Facebook.com/2playerco-op gaming. We never
Go up.
Facebook.com/2player co-op gaming. Holy crap. Samoa Joe won.
I thought he, well,
he
behind
would've been
Bray,
about the least
I thought he was
likely.
number 4. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Go to Facebook.com/2player co-op gaming. We don't update it, but you can go there and leave us some likes. Thank you so much. This is one of my favorite episodes of the year. I love E3 time. I love their predictions. I love all this stuff. Thank you guys for hanging in with us for 2 hours or so. Come back next week for all, and maybe something on Friday. We'll see if it works out. But come back next week for all our E3 recaps, like we said. But until that time, Sean, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Take us out.
Thank you for playing.
About as well as it did last week.
It was a better flight. It
It looked good on the camera.
It
then it went,
didn't-
yeah, I'm going to land over here.
Okay, eventually I'm going to send that thing right into the camera. Maybe.
Thanks, guys. That was sucky!
This is as bad as my clap. I got
nailed
the
the
clap
clap.
right, but...